Hi everybody, this is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy. Welcome to lesson number 22. This will be a review lesson. Let's set up the table. You'll need your top 160 sight word list, the sight word study method instruction sheet, and the card pack for the student. We'll be introducing 3 new sight words today, and these are the last exceptions to the closed syllable rule: colt, holt, and bolt. We do them as sight words because I think we've already maxed out how many sliders the student can handle, so that we just cover these 3 extras that way in the Olt family. You'll need some blank index cards to write the new sight words, a highlighter, some markers, and some pencils. Moving on to the short vowel drill, you'll need the teacher instruction sheet, the keyword pictures, and the keyword sentence. For the phonemic awareness drill, you'll need the instruction sheet for the teacher and the colored tiles for the student, the visual drill and auditory drill instructions, and the card pack on which the student's currently working, keeping in mind that by now you have added all of those closed exceptions that have been taught. So "eind" should be in there now because it was taught in lesson 21. You'll have the syllable card drill ready to go, all cut out and ready. Then we have the magnetic letter tile drill for reading and spelling. For this one, you need the cookie sheet with the magnetic letter tile spread in a rainbow shape. You'll have the syllable pounding instruction sheet and the new phoneme grapheme kinesthetic discovery sheet. Because this is a review lesson, if you have a new phoneme grapheme relationship that should be taught, this would be a good lesson to do it. You can check your core phonics survey to see if that needs to be done. And you'll have the sheets that go with the lesson today, including the isolated word sheet, the story, and the sentences that will be written. Finally, you'll have the sliders. If you have these created, then you'll have them spread out on your table ready to go. And if not, then I'll lead you through in the video, and that it can work that way as well. Okay, let's get going. Let's start with the sight word study method. Student, you'll need to take out your card pack of words, and I want you to read each word on the card, and then give a check in the corner of the index card each time you get one right. Teacher, you're ready with blocking strategies for in case the student encounters difficulties. Student, when you're done, you give the card pack to your teacher, and then it's your teacher's turn to read. The teacher reads the cards, and the student writes them down. Once again, when you get one correct, you put it with a check mark in the other corner of the card. Today, teacher, you will be introducing 3 sight words: colt, bolt, and holt. I know it seems like a lot to introduce 3 sight words in one lesson, but they are part of the same family, so they'll go pretty quick. Same structure there. Do that now, and then come back to me. Let's do the short vowel drill. Student, I want you to take out your keyword pictures and your keyword sentence. With 2 fingers, trace each picture and say the sound apple, and do that for all the short vowels. Do it as many times as your teacher deems necessary, and then say the keyword sentence, stretching out the vowel sounds as you do it. Let's do the phonemic awareness drill. Student, you're going to need your colored tiles for this one. I'll tell you that your word is net. Can you repeat that word? If I was using it in a sentence, I might say, I kicked the soccer ball into the net. Now I'd like you to build that word with your colored tiles. Once you're finished, tap it and say it. Okay, I'd like you to take a new color. Call it X. Can you say that sound? Now I would like you to take the tile X and put it right before the T in net. What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you get next? If you did, that's right. I might say, I am next in line. Find the X in next. Can you touch it? Okay, I'd like you to change the X into a S. What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you get nest? The bird is in the nest. If you did, that's correct. Find the in nest. Change the into a What's your new word? Did you get messed? All right, that's correct. All right, find the s in messed. Can you touch it? I'd like you to change the s in messed into an o. What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you get melt? If you did, that is correct. Now find the in melt. Change it into a f. What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you get felt? If you did, that's right. You can put your tiles away now. Good job. It's time for the visual drill. This is where the teacher flashes a card at the student and the student says the sound that it makes. Teacher, do this for 6 to 8 cards and then come back to me. Now it's time for the auditory drill. So the teacher has the card pack and the teacher says, student, your sound is p. Can you repeat that sound? Okay, now I'd like you to write down the letters that go with the sound p. When you finish, underline it and say the sound again. Did you write down MP? If you did, that's correct. Teacher, do that for 6 to 8 cards and then come back to me. All right, student, it's time for the syllable card drill. Your teacher has it all set up on the table for you. You're going to begin by reading down all of the syllables in the left column. When you're finished, read down all of the syllables in the right column. Then I want you to read across each row. It'll make nonsense words because those syllables are mixed up. The last step is you can reorder the syllable cards in the right column so that they match up with different ones on the left to make real words. Be sure to be talking about meanings and trying to put the words into sentences as you go. Let's do the syllable pounding drill. This is where you extend your hand, and every time you hear a new syllable, you tap your arm and you extend a finger to show how many syllables are in the word. Your word is clinic. Pound it out. How many syllables are in there? Did you say 2? If you did, that's right. How about fun? Did you pound out 1 syllable? If you did, that's correct. Try this one. Holding. Can you say that one? And now pound it out. There are 2 syllables in holding. Good work. We have been talking a lot about the closed syllable exceptions. When we have a normal closed syllable, one that we can trust, like most closed syllables are, the vowel is going to say a short sound. There's going to be 1 vowel in the word. The vowel will always be followed by 1 consonant or possibly more consonants, but always at least 1. So when we have a situation like this, we have a closed syllable. The vowel is closed in. We can expect the vowel to say its short sound. A, I, a. Just like the sounds that we practice in the short vowel drill. However, there are certain times, certain combinations of letters where the vowel is going to do something unexpected. So when I add a D on this, we learned about this combo yesterday. Often this I is going to say its name, and that is not what we expect it to do. So what would this sound be if the I was saying its name? This would be eind. And many, many words do this, so it's really useful to know this combination is an unexpected vowel sound. So this would be mind. We're going to review the closed syllable exceptions by doing the sliders. If your teacher has these set up on the table, then you can use your teachers. And if they're not there, then simply keep going with the video. Otherwise, you can skip right through this part. Let's do the magnetic letter tile drill. Student, you're going to need to take out your magnetic letter tile board for this one. I will tell you that your sound is F. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile for F and pull it to the middle. The next sound is Eind. Can you repeat that? Okay, there's multiple letters within that collection of sounds there. Eind. Find the correct tiles for Eind and pull them to the middle. Then tap it and say the whole word. Did you get find? If you did, that's correct. Put your tiles back and get ready for your next word. Your first sound is S. Can you repeat that sound? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. The second sound is one of those exceptions that we learned about. It is old. Can you repeat that? Okay, find the letters that make up old and pull them to the middle. Then tap it and say it. Did you get sold? If you did, that's right. Teacher, you're keeping an eye on the time, and if you have time to introduce another word this way, you can definitely do that. Otherwise, move on to the isolated word list. The student will read through the list, and then you can move on to the story. When you've finished all that, then come back to me. We are moving into the writing portion of the lesson now. So student, you will need your magnetic letter tile board again. Your word is cling. Can you repeat that word? Now, can you use it in a sentence? What might I say? Maybe I'll say, my socks can cling together when I take them out of the dryer sometimes. What would you say for cling? It's when you hold on tightly to something. Okay. What's the first sound that you hear in cling? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What is the second sound in cling? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And the last part of this word is one of those exceptions that we've worked on, so it'll be in multiple letters that you're pulling down. What's the last sound in cling? Pull those letters down and then tap it and say the whole word. Okay, you can put those tiles away. And here's your next one. Your word is tank. Can you repeat that word? Okay, now can you use it in a sentence? The boy had a toy tank, I might say. What would you say? What's the first sound that you hear in tank? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. The next sound in tank is one of those closed exceptions that we've been working on. So what's the second unit of sound in tank? Find the letters that go with that closed syllable exception and pull them to the middle. Then tap it and say the whole word. Okay, teacher, if there's time, you could introduce another word that way. Otherwise, we're going to move into writing single words. So student, you can take out your lined paper and a pencil for this one. You're going to tap it out first, tapping out each sound and saying each sound, and then grabbing the whole word and pulling it across and saying the whole word. Then you write it down. Your word is fold. Can you repeat that word? I might say, I will fold the laundry. Okay, tap it and say each sound. Pull the whole word across and write it down with your pencil. Teacher can check the work. Okay, for your next word, you are going to trace. You'll trace the letter on your hand or your arm or your leg, and you'll say the sound as you do it. And then you'll grab the word, pull it across, and say it in the sky. And then you will write it down with your pencil. Pink is your word. Can you say that word? Pink. My shirt is pink. Okay. Teacher, if you have time to do more words, you can. Otherwise, move on to the sentences. Read all 3 sentences to the student, and then the student will choose the 2 to be written. And after the student writes each sentence, please use CHOPS to check the work, student. Great job today. Let's do a quick review before you go. Student, can you tell your teacher, what is it to be a closed syllable exception? Define it for us. Okay, and once you're finished, can you give your teacher some examples of closed syllable exceptions that you know? All right, I might say "eind" is an exception to the closed syllable rule because the I is saying its name, which is unexpected. In a closed syllable, you expect that to be a short sound. So mind is unexpected. All right, that is the end of lesson 22. This is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy.